questions, Greg.
All right, Alex. So, I mean, I guess start with the summer and how crazy that was. What went through your mind? Because there was times you didn't know what your future was going to be.
Yes, as you can imagine, roller coaster of a summer.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, we are Hugs guys, so it was heartbreaking to see that unfold. Fast forward to when Josh got named coach, just incredibly excited for Josh to keep me on. Even more excited, more blessed. But that time in between with our current players and the staff was a special time. It was stressful is an understatement, but inside this building was very pure, very genuine. Even the guys that left for better opportunities, it was a special time to bond. So I'm thankful for that.
Speak to your role and the other guys' roles on the staff with Josh. How's that gone? How did it go in the scrimmage? How's that gone so far?
Roles as far as coaching?
Yeah, all the guys. You, Deshaun, Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, so he's Coach Eiler split it up. I'm the guards coach. J5 and I, Coach McCabe and I work out the guards, train the guards, focus on the guards. We'll clip offense, defense, just guards. Deshaun takes the bigs. DJ takes the wings. So that allows us to dig deep and hold kids more accountable and be more detailed in when we cut film and stuff. So, yeah, we got the guards. Same thing with goes to individual training. So we're not going as long every day as the previous coaching staff in practice, so that opens up time to do individual workouts. So I can focus on our 5 to 6 guards with the help of Jordan McCabe, and then Deshaun will get the bigs, and DeMar will get the wings.
What have you learned? I mean, you were GA, you've worked, as skill development for a while now, but now being a coach, the recruiting side of things, TSA line in Denver, I guess. I mean, what have you learned?
The biggest thing I've learned so far is there's a lot of wonderful people in this profession. I've met people that have been in it 40, 50 years. Getting away from that question, having Coach Dickey on staff has been nothing short of a blessing. His knowledge, his connections, his experience, his perspective on everything has just been amazing for me as a young coach. But getting out on the road recruiting, it's a learning process. It's new for me. I'm not worried about evaluating talent. I've seen professional basketball players. I've seen high school kids, so I know where guys are. But just meeting people, making those connections, letting everyone know who's here now and what we're doing up here, that's the biggest thing.
How did the game management part go in the Vanderbilt game with the staff? How did all that go, you think?
I think it went good. It was my scout. It was my first one. So that was fun, jumping in the mind of coach there at Stackhouse. I'd wish the scrimmage would have gone a little better. We made a lot of mistakes. Let me rephrase that. There was a lot of room for growth on that video, which was great for us. But as far as on the bench goes, coach kind of delegated some of the substitution patterns to us, how we felt the game was going, what we wanted to see. With Ray being out, that changes things. And then during the timeouts was a little different. Coach was meeting with the assistant coaches while the coach with the scout would have a good 30 to 40 seconds to fix mistakes that just happened prior to defense, anything we need to change like that before coach came back in from his meeting with the coaches.
Are you weaned yet from being a player, and what was it that made you make the decision that you'd played enough?
Well, COVID was a big factor. Once professional basketball is special, overseas basketball is special with fans, fan bases, culture, all that. When you take that away, when it becomes just a job, now all of a sudden you're 10 months away from family and friends. You're isolated. Takes the joy away a little bit. The opportunity to join the staff by Hugs was just too great to pass up. Body-wise, I was wanting, selfishly, ego-wise, I was wanting to play another couple years. But after talking with Coach Huggins about joining the staff and possibly coaching down the road, it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up.
Alex, you were talking about recruiting being a new experience. I mean, you're really not that far removed from being recruited yourself. You might disagree with that, but having gone through it as a player picking a school, what do you take from that now trying to sell a school to kids who are 18, 19 or?
Well, first first, the game has changed. The recruiting game is completely different now. I'm noticing programs are throwing out offers like toilet paper now. So, but I do recall what was special to me. So my high school coach was basically like a father figure to me. So me and him were taking the forefront in my recruiting. My mom was very supportive, but it was me and him. So I remember just being flourished with mail, 15 to 30 pieces a day, but then John Beeline writing a handwritten letter. So a Big East coach taking the time out of his day, which I now know was very busy because I do it, to write those handwritten letters, that was special. So that's something I'm taking if I meet someone or if I'm working with a recruit. You could call that kid every week and be like, hey man, hope you have a great week. Hope workouts are going good. We still love you, just like every other coach. Or there's ways to be special. There's ways to talk specifics, maybe talk to a coach and get more personal with the player. So I think all that stuff that was special to me in my recruiting that John Beeline did, I'm hoping to do now in my own.
Does it matter with the NIL?
It does matter. It does matter. A lot of these kids that we are recruiting, we're one of the top levels in the country. These kids we're recruiting all have professional dreams. So college is now just a stepping stone for those kids. NIL is important, don't get me wrong, it's a factor, but role, resources, culture, program, all that stuff is very important when it comes to recruiting now.
Look at this team a little bit this year. What do they do well? What do you still have worries about?
I have a lot of worries. Yeah, that's okay. It's normal. We do a lot of things well. We share the ball well. We have really high IQ, high character guys, so that makes it a joy to coach every day. Super coachable. As you guys can imagine, our relationships with the players have changed from the summer to now. Our need to coach harder and hold people more accountable now is more than it was during the summer. So, and our players, to their credit, have responded greatly with that. We told them it was coming, and they've done tremendous. So credit to them. I'd like to see us rebound the ball a little bit better all the way through. We can't just rely on Jesse. It's so easy out there when you watch Jesse Edwards play basketball to just let that man go get every rebound because he's that talented. But there are going to be times where he's not able. He'll get boxed out by numerous people. So we got to get better at rebounding. Our on-ball defense is good, can be better. We need to get a little bit better on the weak side. So we've really been harping rotations, team defense. So naturally, when you get into a new system as a player, and myself, I experienced this, you're worried about your responsibility. My defender, how do I stop him from scoring so I don't, get pulled out of the game, I get playing time. What we need that weak side defender's mentality to be is team defense. So we're working a lot towards how are we guarding this as a team as opposed to how am I guarding my own man.
Alex, how much coaching did you do last year, like coaching during a game?
Not a lot. I was just a GA last year. I was allowed to rebound for guys. So by rules, I was just a rebounder and just a guy that was a yes man. I would do anything the staff needed. I did a lot more on the scouting side of things as opposed to coaching in game. I kind of just sat there, helped Hugs with game minutes, managing minutes, because he was running the substitutions for most of the year. But other than that, I was just kind of watching and learning from Coach Huggins.
Can any of that prepare you for what you guys got plugged into?
Yes. So there was, I won't get into specifics, but there was more than 10 occasions where I was blown away by a Hugs decision. I couldn't believe it was happening in the moment on my own professional basketball experience, and then it turned out great, and I learned from it. So seeing that firsthand, the blessing of sitting first chair behind him and learning throughout the whole year how he managed referees, how he managed players, the leashes he would give certain players to play through mistakes, all that was very valuable for me.
Give us an example. I mean, just one of those that you can share.
Sure, I'll share one. So we're at Texas Tech, and I got this grand scheme of how we're going to substitute perfectly and keep everyone fresh and play with energy. And we go down like 12-0, I think. I think it was 10-0, 12-0. And Coach Huggins platoon subs the whole starting five. So out of those five that are coming in, two of them barely have gotten playing time. And before you know it, we're winning 23-21. So something I never would have done, dare to do. And he was so bold and confident that would just jumpstart us. And then once the starters returned, they were playing with even more passion, more enthusiasm. We ended up winning that game by, I think, 15 plus. So that's one example of great coaching.
So I guess your best plans have to be agile.
Yeah. I say grand goal substitution plans because you're supposed to have those going into a game, but no, they're never going to go that way.
Right.
Something's going to happen. Someone's going to get a text. Someone's going to get a foul trouble. Someone's going to, get a bump and have to sit out a couple plays. But yeah, that was funny. As I had this beautiful plan written down in front of me next to Coach, all 5 starters are sitting next to my left, and I was like, well, this is out the window. Yeah, I think I just put it in my pocket. I tapped Trent. So that was a fun game. Glad we won it.
Sounds like a lot of what you've been talking about, Eric, influenced in some way or other.
Yeah, very much so. What a year it was to learn behind Bob Huggins.
Alex, Josh has talked a lot this preseason about just the changing in the offense, the different philosophies, spacing, things like that. A lot of it sounds like it's from more of an NBA or a pro philosophy, I guess. We're talking about college, so
Right.
I'm sure a lot of the philosophies you probably played with and are familiar with. Can this kind of style, is it an adjustment for college players? Can it be used in college? Because college basketball and pro basketball are
Very different.
2 different beats. Yeah,
right. Especially on the decision-making part.
Sure.
Yes, so I can't just bring over a professional style system and expect college kids to do just as good. It's just they're not professional players yet. They don't make those decisions. The speed of the game, they're not there yet. With that being said, kids have evolved. I think with this system, maybe when I came out of school, it would have been a lot tougher than what these kids are having to adapt to. We did a great job of bringing in high IQ players. They've already played this kind of style. This is the style that kids want to play when we're recruiting. This is the style that's going to prepare them for the next level. It's fun. It's a lot of spacing. Everyone's triple threat. I think everyone except Ali were allowed to shoot threes. So it's a fun way to play. It's moving the ball. It's everyone's involved. I think kids have really enjoyed it. Now, how good are we going to be at making decisions? It'll show early when we might make poor decisions. That's going to get better with every game. So we're putting them in these situations that, hey, read this, almost like a quarterback would. Read your coverages, right? The first game of the season is not as good as the last game of the season. So it's going to continue to get better. But no, it's fun to watch. It's fun. You got Kerr at the point guard, and Kobe Johnson's been great as well as a distributor. But just the high IQ decisions has been a joy to watch.
Out of curiosity here now, having gone through college basketball and a pro career, why are the 2 sports so? I know there's like rules like no zone and everything's man-to-man in NBA, but there's more to it than that, isn't there? Those 2 sports are very uniquely different.
Yeah. I guess if you're coaching on the pro level, you're just dealing with very high IQ players, top to bottom. Like some of the big men I played with in Europe are the smartest teammates I've ever had. Just basically everyone's a coach on the court. So when you're coaching a certain way, you don't have to spend so much time in the details like you do in college. You can just get away with, hey, we're going to run this action, and then if it's not there, run that action, and the whole room knew what you meant. And then you can just go run it out of a timeout. In college, we need to prepare them a little better. That's the end goal, that we can make those reads. But if you don't do the baby steps early and teach them how to make certain reads and decisions and how angles, spacing, timing, all that, you'll never reach that. So I think the capabilities are the same. Decision making, there's just more baby steps involved.
When I hear triple threat and I hear spacing, I'm hearing John Beeline a little bit. Is there a double quickie potato or a greatest home run or any of that stuff?
I haven't heard potato yet. No, I haven't seen any 2-guard out there just yet. But similar to all those things Coach Beeline taught, the reads, footwork, how to be efficient with your cuts, your angles, your spacing, that all carries right over to the pro level. So it'll be implemented.
Alex, Josh talked about how a lot of these assistants are back at West Virginia. Is there extra motivation for you being back here and coaching here?
Yes. Not only my love for the university and the state, but representing this program and now being an extension to continue the legacy of Bob Huggins, what he has built. So I came here in 2005 under John Beeline, and the program was not what it is now. So what has been built is now on us to continue and to do things the right way and to approach this Big 12 season the right way that best represents the people of this state. So I think being former players, we understand that. We knew what it felt to represent those people when we wore the jersey, and we're implementing that in our players now.
How unique is Kerr at point guard?
Yeah, we were just going over some analytics with Kerr. He's a special talent. My biggest gripe with Kerr is he plays the game the right way. He makes all the right passes. I want him to take some few more bad shots. But, man, he just distributes it so well. He's playing chess when the weak side's playing checkers. It's a joy. It's what I've had as teammates in Europe with that kind of decision-making. Anytime we can get him the ball, we will. We need him to take the next stop. Let's get to 5-6 shot attempts as opposed to making all the right passes at 3 shot attempts. So he's just too good of a shooter. He's just too good of a player not to have more shots.
Perception is he's got a flair about him that maybe an average European guy, at least for most of us from the outside, don't necessarily play with. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Yeah. His swag level is extremely high, but he's also got some stuff to him now. Like if I've seen a couple times now where he's gotten hit, and the response to that is, all right, like this is where I'm from. This is the country I represent. Like he's got some stuff to him that you need at this level because the Big 12 is very physical and dirty at times. So I love that about Kerr. The fact that he picked somebody up 94 feet the other day just to do it and show that he can do it and cause those problems. That's your captain doing that. Once your captain and your leaders doing that much effort, the trickle down effect is amazing.
Alex, you were talking about recruiting earlier. As a staff, how do you guys handle when you're talking to kids, families, and so on? So, how do you guys handle like the elephant in the room with everyone being on a 1-year contract, not knowing what the staff might look like when that kid maybe comes here?
Well, each conversation is different. 2024 kids, much different than our 2025, 2026 kids, right? 2027. So speaking on the 2024 kids, it's just full transparency. It's what we are. It's what we're doing here. What we're aiming to do is to extend and to be here and to build this culture. This is who we are, like selling our player development, our coaching staff, selling this fan base, this state. Those are all still selling points, even to 2024 kids. 2025 kids, same sell, but you'll find out. Like, come March, come April, you'll see if we're still here or not. But this is us. All the recruiting is still the same, but that's much easier because those kids are going to know.
What do you want to see from the team on Friday?
Ooh, good basketball. I want to take steps in our team defense, helping each other. I want to cause that 3rd and 4th rotation for all. I think that's going to be really great. If we could take away that first look, that second look, and cause that 3rd one, college basketball players have a tough time with that. I want to see better team defense. I want to see everyone make an effort to rebound. And then just keep buying into our principles on defense. Offensively, we share the ball great. I'm not worried about it. I don't care who scores. The other day, Josiah Harris didn't do nothing except take open threes, and he was our leading scorer. So when you got Kerr and those guys who play basketball the right way, and even Jesse if he gets doubled in the post, it doesn't matter who scores as long as we're taking good shots.
When did you get home from Denver? Do you want to share that story?
That story bothered me so much because I have rushed to the airports. I have deserved to miss at least 10 flights in my coaching career so far. But that one was to the T. I followed my itinerary for that day. I had a church. I went on a hike for an hour, and then I got to the airport 2 hours early, and all of a sudden there's 300 people in the car rental bus line, and then there's 3,000 people in the security line. And they looked at me, and I talked to the worker like, yeah, it's kind of normal. We had some drug-sniffing dogs that backed us up a little, but, you just got to smile. I mean, I got there 2 hours early. I'm just laughing. I got on Twitter and answered some questions, which brought up a lot of great memories. That was a great idea because they reminded me of a couple great memories that I had. But no, it was fine. I ended up getting home about 3:30. So the bounce back Monday, that was a little tough, but we powered through.
So you got out that night, though?
I got out that night. I think I got in at 1:30. My bag was supposed to be there waiting on me. Well, all those offices were closed. United did a great job. They sent me my bag, but there was a lot of supplements and energy drinks drank on Monday. So learning as I go. Denver, you're 3 hours early, just like an international flight.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
All right. Thank you all.